Hey, welcome back, guys. All right, let's take a little look at this. Going to see whatever the message is, along with any signs and symbols. We've got the Four of Cups sideways. We have got more than one person lamenting either a loss, something that didn't go well. You may see an umbrella, or there could be an unexpected little rain shower. Somebody could see a goose walking or flying overhead, or hear a goose or drinking Grey Goose. We got the Devil upright. Okay, so this is getting stuck in our mind, and this mindset of like, but I really still want this, even if it wasn't great for me. I really still want this. I feel disappointed in this. I want this, even if we know it's like somebody's trapped maybe in somebody else's web. We could have a character, a feminine possibly, who's trapped in a thought process, but she in turn could be thinking about someone else who is trapped in someone's web. So let's say she's got an attraction for somebody and she can't stop thinking about them, and unfortunately they're stuck in, kind of this femme fatale's spider web. The reason I'm suggesting that we have multiple layers is because we actually have 3 layers of poison here, right? We've got the spider web where we can get trapped. We've got the spider legs of, we'll say Black Widow or something. And then we've got a poisonous mushroom. So I've at least 2 layers, if not 3, of entrapment going on. And that leads to the feeling of disappointment. We got an Ace of Pentacles. She's realizing, I got to stop thinking about this. By the way, somebody could see like a toadstool or, one of those red-capped mushrooms. Obviously, be careful for our character if they are eating mushrooms. Make sure if they're mushroom hunting or something, make sure they know what they're looking at. Make sure, nothing is toxic. This is somebody could also see like a spider web, with light filtering through, some cobwebs or something, but be mindful of what kind of spider it might be. Don't get bit by a more toxic spider. But all of this just says that we have a character who needs to be more mindful of what they're letting into their world, just like we need to be mindful when we could be around something that could be, noxious or toxic. But I think our character is saying, maybe I need to stop thinking about this. Maybe that's step 1 to me avoiding this, is let me literally stop dealing with it. I don't want to think about this anymore. I want to be done with this thought process, this feeling of missed opportunity. If somebody got snared in another person's web, let me not also get snared in their web by thinking about the person that I perceive I've lost. I wish them well instead. Let me go ahead and wish them well. I really think this is a feminine who is saying, I have to let somebody go if they got snagged in someone else's web. I got to find peace and calm, and maybe I'll, wish them well. Maybe they're soulmates that needed to still, figure out a storyline, a situation between the two of them. And I'm not a part of this. You notice how she's like an observer on the outside looking in. I feel like somebody could be sitting like on a park bench or something today and just watching, other people roam through their life and realizing certain times in life we observe other people going through their daily activities, and we're the bystander. And there is something to be said for that, when we don't have to be a participant in something and instead we can observe. Sometimes we learn a lot through observation, not spying. I'm not talking about it like that. It's more like, let me look at this from the higher perspective. I'm not really a part of this. I'm an outsider looking in. I see somebody getting played by a toxic feminine. I see somebody trapped in someone else's web, but maybe they have to go through that in order to figure out how to extricate themselves. Or maybe I need to wish them well, wish them peace. This is really a divine feminine who's got a very big heart, because she's talking herself through, like, let me release something or someone that, maybe they're not meant for me. Maybe I have to let them go. Maybe I have to acknowledge they're just not my person. That is hard to do, but she's pretty amazing. Who is it that you seem to be letting go of? By the way, somebody could have a Mylar balloon. It could be a birthday. There could be just walking by someone who has a lot of balloons today. I'm also picturing somebody doing like a visualization where they are envisioning taking like negativity and letting it, form a bubble around it, and then imagining it lifting up, out of the crown of their head and just flying off into the air, surrendering negativity and stress to the universe, like going through a personal visualization, possibly like on a lunch break or like midday. They're sitting down someplace quiet and they're actually actively like relaxing themselves. I really keep feeling like this is somebody who has a technique for releasing, anything they were clinging to, anything that was stressing them out. So well done, character. Well done, you. Okay, so the person. So it is kind of, I think, exactly the story we've been talking about so far. What my inclination was to describe this storyline as, I think that we're going to stick with that, because we have a King of Cups to describe them. So this could be a masculine, and this masculine could be somebody who doesn't open up very frequently. You notice that they're like this big, huge block of granite sticking out in the middle of the sea. And they have this one little opening space just for this one ship to pass through. So this could be a very loving individual who could also be very emotional. And they perhaps are tangled up with, let's say, a toxic ex still. And it sucks to be an outsider watching them saying, God, he's so great. He's such a great, warm-hearted person. Tons of emotion, tons of love. Why is he tangled up with somebody toxic? Why does he only have space in his heart to keep letting the same toxic person come on in? All that does is reinforce again and again this like gray, perspective, because he's emotional, he's sensitive, he's loving, but he only gives it to one person, and that one person happens to be like a freaking wrecking ball. At least this is our lead character's position on this. By the way, our lead character could be a Temperance. I mean, they certainly have like some pretty nice angelic energy here, trying to just make peace with this and say, even if I'm disappointed to watch him stay with his karmic, or watch him continue to give second chances to a karmic, or only have eyes for a karmic who I can see clearly is playing games or is not the best for him, but I gotta still just say he has to go through what he has to go through. Why? King of Cups, why are you so drawn, seemingly, or are you drawn to the karmic? I don't know. Maybe our Temperance angel over here is getting this wrong. He's saying, no, I'm trying to walk away. I'm definitely trying to walk away, but it could also be that the karmic walks away from him, and that produces a feeling of loss. Hang on, I need another one before I know for sure. No, he is actively trying to get away from this karmic. It doesn't mean that this is easy. It doesn't mean that there haven't been games played. Maybe they've broken up and gotten back together and, left each other and come back together. But here it actually says, look, I don't enjoy this. It's not like I'm wanting my karmic back. I'm not playing, my heartstrings with that Knight of Cups in the reverse. I'm not asking her to come back. In fact, I would like to put distance. In fact, I'm actively separating from her. Okay, so hang on, because this just took a plot twist, a left turn here. So our Temperance angel person is like, has been disappointed, right? Has felt like, damn, what a shame. What a shame. He's always going to be tangled up with that karmic. Well, you know what? I got to let him go. And I wish him and her well. I release myself from this, and I release him, but with love. If that's who he's meant to be with, and for better or worse, whatever I think about it, I wish him and her well. For some reason, I'm thinking he has been made utterly miserable, but maybe did keep dealing with a karmic, because hey, when you get trapped in somebody's spider web, it's easy to keep going on repeat, right? Because it's real hard to get yourself unstuck. If you've ever walked through a spider web, picturing somebody who actually gets gum stuck like on their finger, on their shoe, or in their hair, or on like an elbow or something today. And it's hard to get stuff unstuck. I'm also picturing somebody trying to scrape like a price sticker off of something that they've purchased. Maybe they want to give it as a gift, and they're like, I don't want this tacky price sticker right there on the side of the vase that I'm putting a bouquet of flowers in or something. Picturing somebody trying to scrape off a sticker. It's really annoying. And that's how it is with the karmic type of energy sometimes too. It's really tough because you want the thing off, but it's hard to get it off. It's hard to scrape it off. But he's actually in process right now. His heart doesn't want this anymore, so that's huge. He's ready to walk away. Maybe the karmic is too. But he's trying to put distance between them. Not trying. This is like he's halfway there. Maybe this has been an entire year's process, though. And it's like he's definitely been at this for a while. Or let's say that his heart has been releasing this person to the point where He's no longer pursuing this karmic. He's not even in love with this karmic anymore. Is he done? King of Cups, are you done? By the way, he could be a Scorpio. He could be a Pisces. He could be a Cancerian. I said, are you done? We have a Queen of Pentacles. This is somebody who is refreshed. This is somebody who's planting themselves in new roots. He could literally be physically moving, maybe moving out, maybe no longer living with her, moving to a different side of town, maybe moving to a different country. I mean, maybe this is huge. I will say that because we have like a little acorn hat here, it talks about saving up money. He may have had to save money before he could move on from this relationship. This card also speaks of abundance, money, prosperity. He's actually moving out. He's moving away. With that World card in particular, we see the distance being created. Okay, moving on, moving out. But what's the one holdup here with that Two of Swords? Those birds are migratory. There is something about a house. Maybe it's like, okay, but where am I going to live? Am I going to go find a roommate? It's a little tough to find a place. I finally have the money. I'm ready to go. King of Wands. He's about to free himself from being that isolated block out in the middle of the ocean. Maybe this is him questioning, am I ready to move on into another relationship? Hang on, I got to ask one more time. King of Cups, I know you're transitioning to becoming a King of Wands, but where are you at? Death card. He's like, I'm already done with the ex. So this would say he's actually already moved out. So she doesn't know this yet. Our Temperance angel does not know. She's over here releasing him, saying, it's time I forget about him. He's over here saying, I've already moved out. I'm done with the ex. I'm not still dealing with that person. So I'm guessing that there's been distance. Like she has no idea what's actually going on in his life, that he's done with a karmic. Now that you're becoming a King of Wands, what is it that you're thinking about marching toward? The Tower sideways. Something that he all but let go of, a dream, a wish, something that kind of blew up. This is definitely somebody's dream with that particular card. A King of Swords. If he is finally done with a karmic and he's about ready to follow his heart and he's wondering if he should do this, he's wondering, I don't know why he's wondering so much. Is it too late, or can he gravitate toward this individual? I'm guessing that he wants to go toward this Temperance angel. Let's change decks just in case we're going to have duplicate cards come out. I think this deck actually. He's thinking very logically. Tell me more about this. Okay, Knight of Cups. He's definitely thinking about someplace he would rather place his heart, which we knew that from the King of Wands. But with the King of Swords, he's like logically thinking about this. He's still like sitting on the fence. Should I do this? Should I not? Is it too late? Is it over? Is it, I got that Two of Wands. Which path should I take? What is your biggest hang up? You have something that you want. Your heart tells you there's somebody that you care about. There is a place that you want to go, but you just don't know. What is the big reason why you don't know if you should pursue? Because he doesn't know if he can be successful with the thing that he wants, and I don't think he wants a disappointment. Four of Wands, Six of Wands. The big question is, if I follow my heart and I go toward someone that I truly want, someone that I actually want to marry, somebody that I want to have success with, will I have success with them? What is your alternate plan here? So part of you wants to just go for it, and the other part of you is like, I don't think that'll work. What if it doesn't work? The alternate plan is to just stay single, for a while, or maybe period. Why would you be saying my alternate plan is to just stay single? Hermit. Maybe I've got to go on this deep, broody, silent walk in the, dark night of the soul. By the way, we do have him coming out as, we should recap real quickly and say, he could have come out as a water sign, as a fire sign, or as an air sign. But now he's shifting gears, and it's like, do I go into Virgo energy here? What should I do? We also had Aries energy for this wish that he's not sure he should pursue. But he's torn between, if I go toward this person, this love, the person who is on my heart, now that I've left my karmic, do I do that? Will I have success in a romance, or should I just stay single forever? Let me ask this. Why would you, if you know what your heart wants, why would you not go for what your heart wants? What is your reasoning that you are 50% all in and 50% like, nah, I should just stay away from everybody? 7 of coins is more about timing. Okay, so maybe I need more time. Maybe I should, develop myself more, invest more in myself. I don't know if he knows that our temperance angel is letting him go. And my impression is this is the person he's thinking about moving toward. This is the person he's thinking so heavily, should I move toward her? Well, you already is what it seems, because she's letting you go. Now you're done with the karmic, but you still are thinking maybe you won't go toward this temperance angel. I kind of feel like that temperance angel will not be available anymore after this, because she's already letting you go. But on the other hand, if he's not ready, then you probably shouldn't be going toward anyone. But let's just take a look. What's going to happen with our temperance angel? Where is she headed next? She's going to meet somebody new. She's going to meet a real, 6 of cups of her own, a different soulmate. We actually have 3 people here. She won't forget him with that 10 of wands in the reverse. She won't forget him, but she will be in the arms of another. That's even here. We saw it with the temperance card. One bird's flying away, the next one's coming in. We saw her saying, I need to wish him well with his, whoever he's choosing to stay with. In the meantime, I need to welcome somebody new in my life. I need that new beginning. She's going to have a new beginning. She's going to be in somebody else's arms, even though she may still feel like, damn, what a crying shame, what a missed opportunity with him. But it's time that I move on. Okay, so all I can say is, actually, let's change decks one last time and say, universe, do you have a message? By the way, somebody could be going camping. Somebody could be driving by a little lemonade stand as well. Maybe seeing kids sell their lemonade. There could be some nostalgia, some, like, oh, I remember, fun things when I was younger. There is a levity in her world coming in, even though there's this little bittersweet energy. She's in a really great space. By the way, she could be wearing her hair down today, or half down, half up. She may have dark hair, really fair skin, really lovely skin, very noticeable eyes as well for her. She might be wearing white or blue today as well. Okay, universe, what's the dealio? We got the Girl of Swords. This is the Page of Swords. This is like pausing and gathering some thoughts, gathering some gems of wisdom before taking any action is really important. 2 of Wands, the Moon, the Emperor. This might be a little bit more on his side. If he does a little spying on her and then reconsiders and says, you do realize that your life, the only person who's going to decide where you end up is you. So Emperor, if you want her and you're doing a little spying on her and she's a bright spot in your life, there's no guarantees about how anything will work out. But if this is the person that you've desired all this time, while you were ending things with a karmic, you've kind of already wasted enough time. You better go get to her, because I think something just shifted during this last full moon we had. She is obviously on the cusp of kind of like putting you out of her mind and moving in a new direction. If he's, gathering some information, taking a good look and making a decision, it may be the reality that there's no guarantees in anything in life, but we're supposed to at least go after the things that we genuinely want. So if he wants her in his life, the only way that's going to happen is if he pursues her, or she will end up in the arms of another. That's all I can say here. I don't know what he's going to do, but it's kind of like time to Emperor up. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up. Bye.